So we're going to be talking about the story of the Respirator version and how we came about this system right here. Now in 2017, when we first officially launched in a military exhibition, this was in Abu Dhabi, IDEX. It was crazy because we were officially in a military exhibition for the first time, and pretty much I still didn't know a lot about the industry. I didn't know about how it works. But when I presented the helmet, I was meeting so many people from different countries, so many different countries, and I was talking to generals, I was talking to commanders, captains, other distributors, other suppliers, and this show was just crazy. You have Lockheed Martin, you have Raytheon, all of the biggest companies. There were tanks, there were missiles and rockets, and I was just in this one corner of a booth, which was also a really huge company, Trust International. Thank you, Ahmed, for that. It was a very successful show, and I was presenting the helmet, and so many people were impressed by the breacher system's features, which was you're able to cheek weld, you're able to use night vision, it had ventilation system, it had a breakaway system. Now, after that show, I got a surge of emails. I was being invited to several other shows for that year also. And because we're such a young company and I didn't really have that much resources at that time, I had to choose only 2 countries which would be very beneficial for us. One was Impact Thailand, that was around October, and 2 weeks later was Millipol. So I went to Impact Thailand and then went to Millipol. Now, Millipol, Paris, was one of our main goals because I created the Devtac Ronin helmet because I was looking at this Gign helmet, which was a one-piece glass protection, and the one-piece helmet, which was about 3.5 kilograms. I heard it's even heavier than that, and it didn't really have that many features. So I called up my friend Karsten Klingbeil. He's from Germany, awesome sales guy, and I said, hey, I'm gonna be in Millipol in a couple of weeks. You think you'd come with me? And he said, sure, why not? He drove all the way from Germany to Paris. It took him about 10 hours of driving with his Tesla. Well, he said it wasn't really that bad because, Tesla had a self-driving mode, and he said he was just sleeping most of the time in the car. It's like, that is fucking awesome. Anyway, so we got to the show. I got to meet Carson for the first time. I've been talking to him for years since I came out with the non-ballistic, and he was really excited about, dude, this is your time right here. I said, I need to talk to the Gign guys. Like, don't worry, let me handle that. And he started walking around talking to people, and on the second day, he got a meeting for me with the commander and the master himself, Gign master himself. So I presented the helmet. I told them all of the features that this had, that it had 90% ballistic protection, you can cheek weld with it, it had a ventilation system, it had the defogging system, you can use night vision with it, and so on and so forth. But then they asked me, can you use a respirator system in the helmet? And I was like, sorry, no, it does not have that capabilities yet. And he said, that is really bad. Too bad. Really, really too bad. Because they loved the system, but they couldn't, didn't have a respirator system. So that was pretty much the end of the show for me on the second day, so I just had to, enjoy the rest 3 days with Carson, which was still an awesome time, and I still got to talk to so many people and connected with so many other distributors as well. So I got back home, Japan, and I was thinking about, how am I going to do this? Because when you think about creating a system like this alone was about 7 years worth of trial and error, redesign, and so on and so forth. Now, I said, okay, Ronin breacher system needs to have a respirator system. How am I going to do that? And there's so much challenges when it comes to creating something new. First, you have to think about patent infringements. Then you're going to think about ease of manufacturing. Cost is a huge factor in creating something. And also, you're going to have to think about materials that you're going to be using, designs, and failures when you're using a product. And I had several other thoughts on how I'm going to make this system. I had this thought like, okay, maybe I can put a hose all the way to the back, but that would mean I have to seal the whole helmet, and sealing the whole helmet would mean a lot more manufacturing cost. And then I thought about, okay, how about a hose underneath? But the problem with a hose is that when it gets snagged, it's pretty much game over for you. So I was like, okay. And I also wanted to use the same system as the breacher version, which offered everything else, and I wanted to be able to use all of those parts, most of those parts. And I was studying about different types of respirator system, and I checked 3M, Mira Safety, Honeywell, and you have the OpScore one, which you had the filter right in front. And the 3M system was such a simple design where you just put it in the back of your head, the strap, and then you had the filter on the side. So I was asking one of my friends, special forces guys, and I asked them, what do you think of respirator? Could you tell me about your experience in respirator system? And he said, respirator systems are really important in their missions. They always have it, they always carry it around. And the only thing that worries them is ballistic protection, because it didn't have ballistic protection. I said, okay, well, I need to make a respirator version out of our Devtac Ronin. And my biggest problem is that it has tiny holes in the eye socket, and because of the ventilation system. He said, okay, well, firstly, tear gas, that's not really a big problem in the eyes, because tear gas goes right into your lungs and it doesn't really irritate the eyes much. And because of those tiny holes, you don't really have to worry about it, going inside your eyes unless the fans are on. And he said the biggest worry with their missions is not tear gas. It's smoke inhalation, carbon monoxide, chemical inhalation, lead poisoning, and dust as well is something that they have to worry about. Because when you are in special forces or breaching missions or SWAT guys, these are the things that you have to worry about every time. Tear gas is just probably the last thing that they have to worry about. And I saw this 3M design, it's like, man, then why not just simply extend the part of the mask, this part of the mask, so you'd be able to use the same 3M, Honeywell, Mira Safety system where the filters are on the side. And it's still pretty much exactly the same as the breacher version, only a little bit longer. Now, the design may not look as sexy as the breacher version, but definitely it has the same protection with added respirator system. Now, 3M, what's great about 3M is that you can use different types of filters. There are thin ones, there are thick ones. You can use just one filter, adding a bayonet cap, and this is how it came about. And that took me about 2 years to redesign and think about it. And 2019, went back to Dubai, showed it to SWAT guys, SWAT Challenge 2019 in Dubai. It was amazing. Even Europeans were like looking at it, it's like, this is great, call me the next day. So I did. And after that, had many other comments about, okay, we need the system, we want to talk to you more about this, so I did. 2019, went back to Impact Thailand and talked to my distributors, and they said, Wes, you need to present this one. And I did. and they loved the system and they loved the ballistic protection, so they actually ordered this batch, and we only got to send it, 2022, because 2020 was when COVID happened and it just fucked shit up for almost everybody. Now 2022 is going to be a great year for us, and I'm really excited because I'm going to be traveling a lot more this year and showing our system and going to do a lot more presentation and sales. So basically that's it about this system right here. Thank you very much for listening. Much appreciated. Wesley Shabada, Devtac.
It's recording.
Scorpion.